Hello, it is I, Dreadwind. This is the second video of 2015. Don't worry, I'm not going to count all of them every time I do a video. Not going to happen. What is going to happen though is we are going to have a look, as I promised, at the Masters of the Universe 30th Commemorative Edition of the TV show. The Filmation TV show, obviously, that's the one that we're taking a look at today. And yeah, I said that we were going to have a look at the old DVD set because it was my main present for Christmas, and it's amazing. I now legitimately, shall we say, have all the episodes of the Filmation seasons, and of course all the other ones as well. Now, I had seen, we'll go into this, I haven't seen any of the New Adventures yet. It's something I've not ever seen. I sort of remember it being on Yorkshire television very briefly during the early 90s, and then it just sort of died away very quickly. But the Mike Young production series, I had seen most of the first season, not all of the first season, but most of it, because Cartoon Network decided to be ball bags, but we'll go into that later on. First off, let's take a look at the box. So, it's a heavy old thing, let's put it that way. So yeah, you see straight away, 30th Commemorative Edition. Very nice. And the Masters of the Universe. It's the Classics logo, interestingly enough, that you get on there. And then you go down. Now you can see the 3D Castle Grayskull, which is really awesome. I love that so much. You can also see the lighting. Excellent stuff. But you can see the embossed raised 3D Castle Grayskull. And then everything in there that you should have. So a really nice picture of He-Man with the Sword of Power. And then the Power of Grayskull. You've got 22 DVDs chronicling all three animated Masters of the Universe series, bonus DVD, new and unreleased documentary features, bonus audio CD, which is the classic Filmation series soundtrack, and of course you get the exclusive Power Sword, if you can see that exclusive Power Sword, and a collectible booklet and episode guide. Now, so let's have a look at this. The only quibble I have is that this piece here was broken, and I had to redo it. Oh, sorry, tell a lie. Let's have a look at the other side of this as well. So we've got a great picture of Skeletor and a limited edition. It is 11,901 of 15,000. So it's getting on for the late run of this. And like we say, it's got an epic collection of heroic proportions. For 30 years, the Masters of the Universe brand has resonated with fans due to its multitude of dynamic characters and rich storytelling, and so on and so forth. So yeah, we've got the He-Man's Masters of the Universe 1983 to 85, got the New Adventures era 90 to 91, Mike Young Productions era 2002 to 2004, and it says 3 additional bonus collectible items, which we'll go into when we actually have a look at the DVDs. So, take out the DVDs. First off, draw your attention to this absolutely amazing piece of artwork on the back there. Look at that. That is so nice. And the level of detail on there is really good. Loving that. And on the side there, of course, you do get that picture of Skeletor. And the lovely picture of He-Man with Castle Grayskull. And then finally you get this amazing Castle Grayskull embossed piece. I mean, look at that. That is really nice, and it feels really nice to touch as well. Very shiny. It's really shiny. So really well done, guys, for that. It's really nice. So open it up, and again, more artwork you can see in there. So we'll try and get all of that in shot. There we go. That's inside the box. You've got everyone. You've got He-Man. You've got Skeletor up in there. You've got the Sorceress, Teela, Orko, Man-at-Arms as well up in there. You've got all the guys from the New Adventure series, got all the Mike Young Productions guys on the side as well there, chronicling the 3 eras of He-Man, the 3 main eras. And first off, let's have a look at the Power Sword. There we go. And it's a gold version of the Power Sword, but it's exactly the same as the ones you would find in the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe Classics range. But it is very nicely detailed, as always, and I do love the 2 colours of gold that you get in there as well. Very nice. Just a little freebie, you know. First off then, we'll get out of the way. This is the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe bonus CD that you get. So selections from the original TV series soundtrack. Not all of it. You can find a lot of that on YouTube. especially on the official He-Man and the Masters of the Universe channel with Mr. James Eatock. You can hear a lot of those online on YouTube. But on here you get certain tracks. I don't know if you can see all of these, so I'll read them out. You've got the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe theme. You've got Teela's theme, Orko's theme. I don't know if you can see that. Sweet Dreams, Castle Grayskull, The Royal Family, Run, Orko, Run, Meditation, Orko and the Ascending Machine, Masters of the Universe, the Spanish version, which is awesome. And if you've never heard it, please do. I will put a link in this video to the video of the guy who does it, and I forget his name. It's in here. We'll see it in a minute. But he does it on his live set still, and lots of people sing along to it. It's really, really cool. And then you get a Masters of the Universe, the alternate version, which is basically the version without any He-Man on there at all. So you look in there. It's a really nice CD, actually. It's really nicely done. Oh, should have done this before. How unprofessional. But yeah, basically it's very shiny, as you can tell. You get Orko over there, and you get the logo, the classic logo there. That's a very nice looking CD. Underneath, you get a really nice picture of Skeletor, just in sort of all pastel colours, shooting at you. But then you get a blurb from James Eatock, which I won't go into. But it's basically chronicling what happened, how Roy Ellis was going to do Masters of the Universe score and then didn't, and him, Saban and Shuki Levy went in there, and then you get all liner notes. Again, all by James Eatock, so it's very, very nice, and you get all a nice background on there as well. The guy who does it is Memo Aguirre, or Aguirre. Memo Aguirre, I would imagine it's pronounced. But yeah, he does it on his live set, and people do sing along with his stuff. So that's really good. It is very strange to hear lyrics to a He-Man series, though. But, you know, they are there. They do happen. So, for Season 1, and this is where things get a bit sketchy for me, because I've not seen any of the DVDs yet. But that's fine. I've seen all the episodes, just not the DVD. You get Disc 1, Disc 2, Disc 3, Disc 4, Disc 5, Disc 6, 7, 8. 8 discs you get of this bloody thing. And they're very nicely rendered. Don't get me wrong. I don't actually mind the way they've done this. In fact, I prefer it. I would rather the CDs or the DVDs actually have a covering. The Turtles one doesn't have a cover, which I'll show you at some point in the future. It just has the actual covering of the turtle van. And I'm not especially keen on the way they've done that. I prefer they'd be like this. They're more protected. But anyway, having a look at the discs. So you've got all of those on Disc 1. Disc 2, Disc 3, Disc 4, and it all carries on till Disc 8. Now, Disc 8 is where things differ. Let me just pop them down. On Disc 8, you don't get anything like that at all. You get documentaries. You get the secret origins of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, the stories of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe parts 1 and 2, which is great. Secret Origins is it's on YouTube if you ever want to see it and without having to buy the discs. Obviously buy the discs, but you know, if you ever want to try before you buy, as it were, then do that. Yeah, so on the YouTube video, it's basically how the series came about. How Mattel came to Filmation and said, can we work something out here? Now, Filmation had a very sweet deal whereby they didn't have to advertise the toy. So anyone who says it's a toy commercial, that's all it ever was, wrong, because they had no stipulation at all to advertise the toys. Filmation could use anything and everything they wanted, but within their particular reason of if it's just there to sell a toy, we ain't doing it. So very, very interesting. Lots of good Lou Scheimer stuff as well there. The stories of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe parts 1 and 2 is basically they go through all the stories of Season 1 and they ask the people who wrote it what they were thinking and what the story is about. It's very interesting stuff. Some people are notable by their absence or notable by what they're not saying, such as Paul Dini, who has made it very, very clear on more than one occasion he didn't like working on this show. But he's still on there, which is interesting, I find. David Wise is on there as well, very cool. Larry DiTilio, Robbie London, all those good people. So that's really cool. You also get 50 detailed profiles of various characters, creatures and artifacts. And it really is in detail. You can actually get clips played on there. Each profile is a good profile. It's not just there to make up the numbers. It's really good, I suggest. If you're not especially au fait with some of the characters, look them up on there. It's a really good sort of Wikipedia almost of He-Man characters. It's really, really cool. And then you get 5 complete episode scripts, which is really cool always to have a look at what the scripts said and what the scripts were basically just telling you what was going to happen. So you got Diamond Ray Disappearance, Quest for He-Man, Evil Seed, one of my favourites, Ordeal in the Darklands, and Prince Adam No More. Brilliant stuff. So that's season 1. That is nowhere near finished though. You are nowhere near finished with this. Because you've got season 2, you've got disc 1, disc 2, disc 3, disc 4, disc 5, disc 6, 7, and 8 again. 8 discs, and again you get all the episodes on the back there, which is really, really cool. Obviously, love season 2. I love me a bit of season 2. I know a lot of people sort of think it's not as good as the first. I disagree with that one. I think it's just as good. And again, documentaries. You get the stories of He-Man and Masters Universe Part 1 and 2. This is season 2, or rather Part 3 and 4. The Magic of Filmation, which is basically just about how Filmation are cool, and animating He-Man and the Masters of the Universe again, really, really cool. Literally about that. They talk to the animators, they tell them how they did it, and there's lots of good interviews there. People like Larry Sito, and that kind of Robert Lamb, I think, is on there as well. Again, 50 detailed profiles of various characters of season 2, and then you get the episode scripts as well. The Cat and the Spider, To Save Skeletor, Into the Abyss, The Rainbow Warrior, Battle Cat, one of my favourites again, Hunt for He-Man, Not So Blind, love that episode, Secret of Grayskull. It's actually spelled wrong. He says the Serect of Grayskull, but never mind. Tina's Triumph and The Problem with Power, which is the last one, where He-Man decides he doesn't want to be He-Man no more. Not spoiling it, you'll find out why. And then you get 2 discs, The New Adventures of He-Man, or the best of the New Adventures of He-Man, should I say. Disc 1 and Disc 2. I don't think it's the entire series, so it's the best of. But that's cool. I shall watch them with interest. And then you get a bonus documentary featurette with that, Creating the New Adventures of He-Man, which I've never seen. Couldn't tell you what it's like. Couldn't tell you what the New Adventures is like. I'll report back to you on that one. And then finally, last but very much not least, we do have the New Adventures, not the New Adventures, the Mike Young Productions He-Man. With this, I always love this logo. This logo is cool, and it's very nice that it distincts itself from the original as well. It's very nicely updated, but you've got obviously all the episodes on there. You've got bonus script on there as well for yourself. This is season 1. So you've got all that as well. Again, bonus scripts for episodes 11 to 20. And then disc 3, moving on, it's the Snake Men seasons, basically. You get audio commentary on there as well with various people who were involved with the series. And then you get interviews with toyline artists from Mattel and the Four Horsemen, scripts, and a digital comic book unproduced 40th episode. So yeah, really, really cool stuff there. Can't wait to dig into that, quite frankly. And then you get the final disc, which is purely and simply bonus material. You've got Celebrating 30 Years as Masters of the Universe, which is really cool. It's a sort of a 40-minute documentary. A lot of these are sort of 40 minutes, which is really cool. So I'm guessing sort of with adverts and whatever, they would make up an hour. So He-Man invades the San Diego Comic-Con, which was really cool. A lot of Lou Scheimer in there, some James Etoch, Emiliano Santa Lucia as well. Holidays and Morals, so the holiday episodes they produced and the moral sections that they produced as well. The Heroes and Villains, self-explanatory. The Comic Book Adventures, that is with people like Val Staples and Emiliano Santa Lucia, and even the guys who created the old mini-comics as well back in the day, which is, you know, I think is great. Personally, the fans of He-Man and Masters of the Universe, so it's a lot of people that I don't particularly know, except people like Emiliano and James Etoch and people are, well, a lot of internet fans who, this was done in about 2006 were a lot of these for the last big release of He-Man and Masters of the Universe on DVD. So I'm guessing a lot of them, they either aren't around anymore through various political machinations of He-Man.org. Yeah, that got involved, I'm afraid. Yeah, so a lot of people that I maybe don't know. And then the power of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. Basically just the impact that it had pop culturally on the world. Quite a bit is the answer to that one. And then you get some video commentaries for the 2002 series as well, and a PowerCon teaser. Boo, R.I.P. PowerCon. And then finally, you do get this rather awesome and spiffy episode guide, which I think is very, very cool. You get screenshots of each of the episodes as well. which I think is really cool. And I think Andy Mangles and James Eatock had a lot to do with these as well. I mean, Andy Mangles did a lot of the documentary stuff as well, which freaks me out, really, if I'm being honest, because... really? Yeah, it freaks me out because basically I know him more as a Star Wars guy, if I'm anybody, but yeah, still very, very cool. So directed and scripted a lot of the documentaries there. You can see by Andy Mangles there. Erica Scheinwer did the foreword as well. So let me get that back. There we go. I don't know if she's actually done a foreword in here. Let's have a look. Yeah, Erica did. There you go. There's the man, the myth, the legend. If it wasn't for him, there would be no He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I would probably imagine there would be no toy line. But there you go. Pretty cool. So yeah, that's it basically. That is the box set. It's very, very good. I've not watched a good 90% of it, but the documentaries, it's worth it for those alone. And it's beautiful, sumptuous artwork that you get in there. It's a really cool box set. If you can get it, please do. It's expensive, I'm not going to lie to you. I have looked online, it can be expensive, but if you look around enough, then you will find a cheaper version of it, I am sure. Apparently there's something wrong with some of the discs in this, but I'll have to come to that when I actually get to it. It matters not, I have it in various formats anyway. But it's just nice to have a massive box set commemorating 30 years of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. One of my favourite TV shows ever, one of my favourite toy lines ever, that along with Transformers. You can't go wrong, guys, you can't go wrong, you've got to get it. If you are any kind of Masters of the Universe fan, you're probably going to want this in your collection at some point. But yeah, I will leave it there. Have a good rest of the new year, guys. I know it's back to work tomorrow for a lot of people, myself included. Boo! And all that. I should be back next week with another video. You shall see what that is next week. No spoilers. But take care of yourselves and each other. Have a good one.